welcome to today's Finance 360-degree session where we are going to discuss two very important news articles. The first one is regarding the SEBI's Swagat-FI reform. This has been approved by the SEBI board and now it is going to be launched and implemented. Okay, so let's discuss about the Swagat-FI, as well as the second news article is regarding the SEBI has launched India Market Access Portal. So this is going to provide a single window entry for foreign investors. How is it so? What is this India Market Access Portal? How is it going to benefit the foreign portfolio investors and such? So all of this we are going to discuss in today's session. Do tell me if I'm clearly audible and visible and everything is fine. And I hope everything is fine, and these are the two news articles that we are going to discuss. Now the Swagat-FI, it is very important from the phase 1 as well as from the phase 2 perspective of the examination. Okay, so let's get started, but before that there is a big announcement from EduTap that we have brought for you the Shubh Navratri offers, and this is for the limited time only, where for the regulatory body examination courses you are getting flat 75% off and you can use the code FESTIVAL75. This is applicable till 25th September 2025. Okay, and here you can see that for the RBI grade B, FSA grade A, IRDI grade A, NABARD grade A, SEBI grade A, for all these courses as well as for the combo courses there is flat 75% off that is going on, and you can use this code. So if you are thinking of buying the course, this is the time for you. Do buy the course when you are getting the maximum off, I can say. Okay, so this is the idea. If you are doing the self preparation and if you do not need the course, that is fine, but if you are thinking of buying the course, then this is the time for you. Okay, so remember the code FESTIVAL75 and this offer is valid till 25th September 2025. Okay, so now let's get started with the first news article, that is Swagat-FI framework for FPIs and FVCIs. So Swagat-FI, this is the framework for the foreign portfolio investors as well as foreign venture capital investors. Okay, so SEBI board approved the introduction of Swagat-FI. Swagat-FI, what is the full form? It is single window automatic and generalized access for the trusted foreign investors. Okay, so here by the name itself you can understand that through the single window automatically and through the generalized measure there is the access that is going to be provided to the trusted foreign investors. So for the trusted foreign investors, this Swagat-FI is being launched. So Swagat-FI is being launched for the trusted foreign investors, and here through a single window the access is being provided to the trusted foreign investors so that they can invest in India in a easier manner. Okay, so Swagat-FI framework, this is approved. This has been approved by the SEBI board, by the board of the SEBI, and this is for, so this Swagat-FI, it is for foreign portfolio investors and foreign venture capital investors with the following objective. This Swagat-FI has been launched, that is to facilitate easier investment access for objectively identified and verifiably low risk foreign investors. So there are foreign investors that have very low risk. They are very low risk, okay, and they are identified foreign investors. So for them to have the easier access to the financial market of our country, this Swagat-FI framework has been launched. Okay, as well as there are certain foreign investors that are very much identified, or they are very much they have a lot of funds for investment, so we want them to have easier access to the financial market of our country. Okay, enable a unified registration process. So for these verified and trusted foreign investors, there will be a unified registration process across multiple investment routes for these entities. So for these entities there will be a registration, a unified registration process. Once they register, they can invest in the different areas. Okay, they can become the foreign portfolio investors to invest in the listed securities, to invest in the listed shares, listed debt securities that are in the that are under the National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange and the stock exchanges. Okay, as well as they can invest in the unlisted securities as the foreign venture capital investors. They can invest in unlisted securities, such as they can invest in such companies that are not listed in the stock exchanges. Okay, so you can understand that there is a unified registration process that will be provided so that the foreign investors that are the trusted, verifiable foreign investors, they can have the registration through one process. Okay, they can register as the FPI as well as the FVCI. FPI, they invest in the listed securities that are listed in the stock exchanges. FVCI, they can invest in the unlisted securities like the startups and such. Okay, So this will help, Swagat-FI will help in minimize the repeated compliance requirements and documentation for such trusted and verifiable investors. So purpose and benefit of Swagat-FI framework is that the Swagat-FI framework aims to unify, streamline and standardize the access for select categories so that these select categories, these trusted foreign investors can have easier access to the financial market and financial product and services of our country. Okay, for the foreign investors who meet specified eligibility criteria. So this initiative seeks to reduce the regulatory complexity, reduce the compliance and complex compliance basis, and enhance the India's global competitiveness as an investor friendly destination. And these are the trusted foreign investors, so you can understand that India will not be taking the compliance easily also, because they are already very much trusted. So eligible categories, which are the categories that come under the trusted categories or the verifiable categories. So government and government related investors, so such as central banks, the sovereign wealth funds that is under the government, international multilateral organizations or agencies and entities controlled or at least 75% owned directly or indirectly by such entities. So you can understand that the government and government related investors, they are considered the trusted foreign investors, and for them there is easier access that is going to be provided to the financial market of our country. Okay, so these trusted foreign investors, they can have easier access to the financial market of our country. These are the government and government related investors. Then appropriately regulated public retail funds with diversified investors and investments managed independently and regulated by their home jurisdiction, that is by their own regulators. So basically mutual funds and unit trust open to retail investors, where retail investors are investing, operating as blind pools with diversified investment and independent investment managers. So here you can understand that the mutual funds, they collect the money from the retail investors, they collect the money from the investors that is invested further in the assets and the securities. Okay, so it is said that the mutual funds and unit trusts that have retail investors and they are operating as the pool of funds and they are investing in diversified securities, so they are also trusted foreign investors. Insurance companies investing proprietary funds without segregated portfolios, as well as pension funds regulated in their home jurisdiction, so all these are considered trusted investors, trusted foreign investors that are going to be provided with the Swagat-FI framework. Okay, next is registration and eligibility. Eligible foreign portfolio investors that are eligible as they are following these criteria. So eligible FPI applicants may opt for Swagat-FI identification at the time of initial registration, or let's say they are already registered in India, so they can convert their registration to Swagat-FI status so that they can get the easier access to the financial market of our country, okay, to the securities and to the instruments of our country, financial instruments. So SEBI will publish jurisdiction-wise list of eligible fund structures based on a trust but verify approach. So here you can understand that these are the trusted foreign investors, but they just have to do the initial registration to verify themselves, that's it. So this is a trust but verify approach aligned with the exemptions under the additional disclosure framework. So now the relaxations that are going to be provided to the Swagat-FIs, to the foreign investors basically. So option to register as the foreign venture capital investor without additional documentation if already registered, or applying as FPI. So if you are already applying, if you are a government or government related investor, or let's say you are mutual fund, unit trust where the retail investors money is coming, if you are pension fund or insurance company which is investing in the single portfolios or without segregated portfolios basically. So if you are a trusted foreign investor, then you can register as FPI, and if you have registered with FPI, or you are registered as FPI, or you are applying for registration as the foreign portfolio investor, you can also register as the FVCI. Okay, there is no additional documentation that will be required. Next is exemption from FVCI regulation requiring at least 66% of investment in eligible unlisted assets. So foreign venture capital investors, their maximum funds should go for the unlisted securities, for unlisted companies, startups and such. So these are the venture capital investors. Foreign venture capital investors, at least 66% of their investment should go to the unlisted assets, or should go to the unlisted companies and such. But here this exemption is provided to the FVCI. So if you are under the Swagat-FI, so basically if a foreign investor is under the Swagat-FI, so they are the trusted foreign investor, and if they are registering as FPI, they can also register as the FVCI without additional documentation. They do not have to follow the requirement that they have to invest 66% investment. So they do not have to follow this, that they are not required to invest 66% in eligible unlisted asset. So this criteria is not for them. Okay. So this is the exemption that is provided. Registration validity, so KYC review and registration validity, if you have registered yourself as FPI and such, as well as the KYC review and fee payment of $2,500, this is applicable for a 10-year block instead of standard 3-year cycle. So you can understand that if you are a foreign investor that is investing in India, and you are investing through the Swagat-FI, or you are under the framework of Swagat-FI, so you do not have, like, your registration timeline will not be considered for 3 years only. You will be registered for a 10-year block. So this is a very good announcement that the foreign investors will not have to get themselves registered again and again. They can get registered for a 10-year block rather than 3-year. Exemption from the 50% aggregate contribution cap applicable to non-resident Indians and such. So basically, foreign portfolio investors in their pool of funds, so there is the cap that maximum 50% of the contribution can come from the non-resident Indians, from the overseas citizens of India, as well as from the resident Indian individuals. Okay, so NRIs, OCI, resident Indian individuals, they can invest up to 50% of the total contribution in the FPIs. Okay, so if the FPI has the total amount of 100 rupees, only up to 50 rupees can be invested by the non-resident Indians, overseas citizens of India, and resident Indian individuals, by the individuals we can say basically. So this cap is removed for the foreign investors under the Swagat-FI. So exemption from 50% aggregate contribution limit, 50% is the limit, aggregate contribution limit by these entities in the foreign portfolio investment. Okay, any confusion till now? So this is the idea. Now next is option to use a single demat account for holding all the securities acquired as FPI, FVCI foreign investor units. So there is a single demat account that will be required for holding all the securities for the foreign investor. Okay, so if the foreign investor is the trusted foreign investor that has registered as Swagat-FI, so they only require one demat account for holding all their securities, even if it is under the FPI, even if it is under FVCI. So let's say you are registered as a FPI, as a foreign portfolio investor, and you are getting the listed securities. You are also registered as FVCI, you are getting unlisted securities. So all these securities can come in a single demat account. Okay, can be included in a single demat account. So option to use a single demat account for holding all securities acquired as FPI, FVCI and such. So that is the idea. Implementation timeline, given the necessary system and process modification, a 6-month time frame has been provided for full implementation of the Swagat-FI framework. So basically, if you register as a FPI, you can also register as the FVCI without any additional documents. Exemption is provided from the requirement of 66% of the investment in unlisted assets for the FVCI. Okay, so this exemption is provided, as well as your registration will be applicable for 10-year block rather than 3-year. Exemption is provided from the 50% aggregate contribution. So exemption is provided that the FPI pools now the foreign portfolio investor, if it is a trusted foreign investor, can have more than 50% of the funds from the individuals. Okay, so these are the exemptions and such that is provided, as well as the foreign investor can have a single demat account for the different kind of its securities. That is the idea. Now coming to the next news article, this is a small news article, launch of India Market Access website for foreign portfolio investors. So basically, the SEBI board has noted the launch of a new website titled India Market Access, developed as a dedicated platform for current and prospective foreign portfolio investors. So basically, during SEBI's interactions and roadshows with global investors, foreign portfolio investors, this highlighted the FPIs, highlighted the difficulties in navigating the India's regulatory landscape, that they are not able to understand that what are the rules and regulations, what are the tax requirements and such, and how the investment can happen and such, what is the registration process, there are various websites that are providing different information. So FPIs, they highlighted difficulties in navigating India's regulatory landscape, citing the challenge of accessing the information spread across different regulations and institutions. So they are not able to get the real and authentic information regarding the investment. Okay, so lack of a centralized platform often made compliance processes difficult to comprehend and understand. Okay, so now it has been said that the SEBI is launching, or SEBI has launched this India Market Access platform. So this is developed so that all the tax compliance requirements, taxation and compliance requirements, regulatory resources, okay, market access resources, all these information can be provided through a single website. Here you can see that through this website, all the information about taxation and compliance, regulatory resources for the foreign portfolio investors is provided through this single website. Okay, so here the information is provided about India and the investment opportunities, as well as to address a long-standing demand for a streamlined, consolidated source of regulatory and procedural information. So to provide all the information at a place, a single window digital platform has been launched. So this is the single window digital platform that has been launched, that is the India Market Access. This has been developed. This portal serves as a 360-degree digital gateway to provide the information to facilitate seamless entry and ongoing compliance for foreign investors, so that the foreign investors, they can get the seamless information regarding the compliances, the resources and such. Okay, in the India's securities market. So the website is a unified initiative by India's market infrastructure units or market infrastructure institutions. So MIIs, that is market infrastructure institutions, they are the stock exchanges, depositories and clearing corporation. So market infrastructure institutions have come together to provide for this initiative to build this India market access. Okay, so here you can see NSE, BSC, NSE clearing, so the stock exchanges as well as the depositories and the clearing corporation. So they have come together to build this India Market Access platform that is going to provide the information to the foreign portfolio investors in regards to taxation, compliance norms, regulatory requirements and such. Okay, so this has become a unified space so that the investors can get the information that they require. Okay, so this is a long-standing demand for streamlined and consolidated source of regulatory and procedural information, and through the India Market Access, this information has been provided. Any confusion now? So this is it. This is the idea. Now try to answer the first question. This is the homework question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. You have to tell that which of the following statements is or are correct. Okay, so you have to notify the correct statement. So let's see that how many of you will be able to notify that which of the following is or are the correct statement. Now the next news article is regarding what is the primary purpose of the newly launched India Market Access website. So this is a question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. Okay, so this is it. Thank you everyone. And here you can see that there are different series that are going on for the government schemes. There is the government schemes series for the finance current affairs, for the RBI notification and for the RBI press releases. There is the Finance 360 for the daily current affairs. There is the daily current affairs series. For the answer writing, there is the answer writing series. Okay, perspective 360-degree series. So you can see the time and the days on which the series will be provided, as well as keep in mind that there is the sale that is going on, there is the offer that is going on, that till 25th September 2025 you are getting flat 75% off. You can get this through using the code festival75 for all the regulatory body courses, even for the combo courses. Okay, so this is it. Thank you so much, and you will get the PDF of the session in the Telegram channel. So if you want to download the PDF, the link is provided for the Telegram channel in the description box below. Okay, so the PDF of the session that you will get in the Telegram channel, and the link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. So this is it. Thank you very much. Now the master direction for the payment aggregators, payment gateways will be done this Saturday. So I will take a session on this Saturday. Most of the students they get off on Saturday. So on Saturday we will discuss the master direction on payment aggregators and payment gateways. Okay, now in the next session on Thursday we will see that what topic we do on that day, but your master direction for payment aggregator and payment gateway will be done on Saturday. Okay, most probably. So that is the idea. Yes, now your sessions will be smaller because RBI is not releasing the notification. Okay, so RBI has not released the notification or press release, just the master action is there that we will discuss on Saturday. Okay, and the value of the class is not determined by the time of the class. The value of the class is determined by the question that can come in the class, in the exam. So from this articles, the question can come in the examination. I hope you studied this article very thoroughly, and as the examination is near, so I hope you are studying very well and you are investing your time in the right place at the right time. So do keep revising whatever you have studied and whatever extra time. Now I have finished the session in 20 minutes around that, so now you have got 40 minutes. So do revise your August RBI News Tab, RBI notification, RBI press releases or schemes or reports. Now you have excess time to revise, right? So I hope you will utilize the time in a good manner, and on Saturday we will try to do the master action on the payment aggregators and payment gateways. That will be a long session. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Hope you had a good time understanding this notification or this news